Good afternoon. I've been writing all day today, but today I feel more sociable. It's warm, but it's pleasant because it's cool enough at the end of the day. I am encouraged by the judge's ruling in Florida on the Trump search warrant affidavit. I'm encouraged because I believe that after a search has occurred, you should have a damn good reason for keeping it sealed. And what the judge has done here is he's acknowledged that there may be some questions that we should be careful about when releasing what's contained in the affidavit. So he has reviewed and approved a redacted version of the affidavit, and tomorrow, Friday by noon, it will be made public. Now, I've had good friends and people I've known forever who believe that I'm wrong that this affidavit should be released. And I've heard the Justice Department claim that they won because it was redacted. So there's a lot of nonsense about it, but this is the way I look at it. You know, the King's Writ allowed the British soldiers to go wherever the hell they wanted, and they did. And there was also quartering of troops and things like that, but those issues have fallen away. But we still have the question of, if you want to search somebody's house by the Fourth Amendment, you have to present probable cause to an impartial magistrate. But keep in mind that that's what we call in the law an ex parte application, meaning you're not there. But we're concerned when we have a search of the person knowing that you're going to search their place upon probable cause, that they'll conceal what they have, put it elsewhere, and so forth, so you won't find it. So, appropriately, we search a place without notice to the owner of the place, or the person who is searched, or the thing that is searched. And after the fact, why isn't the affidavit released? And the answer may be that it is so clear who the informant is they'd be endangered. It may be that there are certain elements of evidence that can't be released. But if you can exclude those things, why don't you have a right to know after a search what the hell was the reason for the search? Now, I know it's hard to believe that a government agent might lie and get a search based on a lie, but it happens. And I have made a number of these motions before an indictment to see the affidavit. And the reason is what I'm telling you. I think it doesn't make a lot of sense that I have this right to be protected by some impartial magistrate who could be lied to. And so when I see the facts, I can correct them. Now, what about the Trump one? Well, in Trump's case, I feel more strongly about the release because I have a point of view that aligns with the government, and I believe that Trump is a real crook, and it's really hard to believe that this is not the commission of a very serious felony involving our national security with top secret information leaving the White House, being kept at the palace in Florida, Mar-a-Lago, and being moved around and put in boxes according to surveillance cameras, and lied and withheld for appropriate authorities that sought to recover them for the people from the former president. So I am convinced tomorrow that when this information is revealed, we'll see perhaps how much stronger was the case to search Trump. And I believe that there is almost no more important justice/criminal/government/political objective than to rout this man out of public office and to put him in a jail cell and then to put him in prison. And if this is the way it happens, fine. And the other reason I feel in this case the information should be available beyond the common sense notion of we should know what the government's doing and we don't have to trust the government, we should be able to test what they say, is because outside the courtroom, Trump has been spreading lies and stuff like that and undermining justice I don't mean the Department of Justice. I mean justice, small j. Fairness, equity for all. Not based on lies, based on equality before the law. And I believe that we have two fora that we're dealing with. One is the court, but the other, where the master of obstruction exists, Trump in the public vein, that's where this information from the affidavit is helpful. Now, I think normally in the invisible case that we don't care so much about, there should be disclosure subject to redaction if there is any question of the security of persons or methods and things like that. But if you can redact it, and the more important the case, the more important it is that the information be released, then you should do that. So I'm very glad that this has been opened up this way. I've had this position from the beginning, and I'll probably still take grief from people for having this position, but it's important. Now, here's another thing. I listen to, I'm not going to name names because I don't see a point in it, but here's the position. The Justice Department says, we won. We won because he redacted what we said. But that's not what they said. Their position was none of it should be released because there's stuff in there that nobody should know, and the judge disagreed. And keep in mind, this judge knows what's in the affidavit because he reviewed it to issue the search warrant. So he knows from his experience before he was on the bench and on the bench and in this specific case that what he's doing is not compromising anything. He is, in my opinion, fulfilling the due process requirements of the Fourth Amendment and of the First Amendment, access to courts and to government papers to know that the government's on the level. And I feel strongly about this because I believe the government's on the level, but for some stupid reason they want to conceal it. And I do believe it's a stupid reason. And I believe it's impractical. I believe it's unlawful. I believe it's unconstitutional. I believe we should have access to it, especially more than ever in this case. So, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm pleasantly walking, and I hope tomorrow we'll get a chance to analyze what's in the almighty affidavit. And in the meantime, I soar in my cathedral of trees, enjoying the end of a wonderful day of writing like mad. Bye-bye.